Given that you're a clinical psychologist and I don't have those ever on my podcast, um, can I pick one of those issues you just highlighted, and that's
Sure.
the dopamine addiction. Can you please
Yeah.
help me understand from your professional perspective how that works and why people get stuck, and most importantly, how to overcome that addiction, which serves us very well while we're building the business, but does not serve us in that post-exit stage?
If you're an entrepreneur building a company, particularly a company that's growing quickly, there's so much juice, right? And the juice can keep you going through amazing fatigue and all kind of stuff. And so I think it is, again, it may be helpful to say and think about it is the need for a dopamine hit is the same as the need for a hit for anything else. And we have to deal with it like we would an alcohol addiction, a drug addiction, or something else. Mm-hmm. Those models, I think, can help us. But I think it all begins with awareness. Mm-hmm. I don't think, my experience in working with some of these folks, or listening to some of these folks, or when I talk to groups, I don't think they're aware of the extent to which the juice has them. And so I think talking about this, beginning with awareness, what is the role, to have a conversation like, let's talk about dopamine. How do you know when you're getting a hit? How do you know when you need a hit? Where do you go for it? To have this conversation, this exploratory conversation, so that you, in a sense, fatten your awareness about it. And as a colleague of mine said, don't try and change what you don't understand. Mm-hmm. So I think it starts with an acknowledgement that it's no different dynamically, physiologically, mm-hmm. from any other addiction. And mm-hmm. the starting place is to just notice the role of dopamine and to search for it in my life. Now I can start making interventions in small places.
So once you recognize the addiction, and I have to say, in my experience, lots of post-exit founders do, there is an interesting dynamic here, which I notice quite a bit. People feel it, but then they don't want to let that addiction go, even rationally, because they're very scared that once it's gone, they'll be incapable. Like one of my friends actually described it as a fear of death. He says, I absolutely understand, but if I let go of this addiction, I'll be dead.
This entrepreneurship has them. This life has them. They don't have this life. So it really touches your heart. I would say, you're right. You, as you know you, is going to die. Now let's talk about what that means, what the anxiety pulls up, where the fear comes from. I wouldn't try and say to them, no, you're not going to die. You're not going to physically die. You can feel that way as addicts do.